We believe in private enterprise. We believe in small business. Our Job Creators agenda is just that. And so we want the president to work with us. We want him to stop the campaigning. Let's go find the things that are in common between this plan and his.
That's Majority Leader Eric Cantor revealing a Republican jobs plan days after the president's was defeated in the Senate. And that super committee has just over a month until its deadline to cut over $1 trillion in deficit savings over a decade. Any progress being made? Let's find out. Joining us is Jason Dick, House Editor for Roll Call. Jason, it's good to see you this morning.
Nice to see you.
Let's talk about the jobs plan. First of all, the president now taking 3 days to head down to the South, to North Carolina, areas that he won in 2008 but are traditionally Republican areas. This jobs bill, as we mentioned, defeated in the Senate. Now the House, I guess he's trying to campaign the House to pick this apart a little bit and pass parts of it. What's the update there, and what might we see happen?
The White House yesterday came out and they said that they were going to push one aspect of the jobs bill that they think will be popular, which is to get aid to local and state governments. It's about a $35 billion piece of the jobs bill. And you expect to hear the president talk a lot about saving jobs for firefighters, police officers, teachers, people who, that sort of voters have an easier time identifying with. You know, that everybody wants to be able to call the fire department. Everybody wants to be able to call a police officer. They're in trouble. Their kids go to school every day. So that they think that they have a winner in that, and they're going to push the House to take that up. And even they're on recess this week, but they're going to, as soon as they get back, they're going to push them to take that up.
Can we look at the bigger picture here, which is what exactly is the House accomplishing, if anything, right now?
Right, I mean, right now we're about 3 weeks into the new fiscal year, and we're still operating on this stopgap legislation. They have until November 18th to figure out a way to fund the government for next year, and they're still debating. But the House and the Senate are still debating how exactly they're going to package these spending bills. So the very basic aspect of government funding it is still up in the air about how they're going to do that. So the bigger questions of how do you pay for entitlement programs, you know, as your country ages, what are we going to do about the military engagements that we're increasingly in the globe? These sort of things have a difficult time getting attention when you just don't have the basic sort of things taken care of. So the super committee has a November 23rd deadline to forward their recommendations to the two chambers. They got a truckload full of recommendations from all the different committees in Congress, all the different leadership teams in Congress on Friday. I sort of pity the staff a little bit for having to go through these reams and reams of emails or papers or whatever form they took, and everybody has an idea about what the super committee should do, and now they have a few weeks to sort of sort through and get a plan.
Is there any feeling one way or another as to whether or not the super committee will be able to actually put some type of proposal together? I mean, getting it approved is one thing, getting something together to get approved is another.
It's interesting. One of the things that I mean, you'll hear a lot of my colleagues, you know, complain about is we want transparency. We want to be able to know what's going on in these super committee hearings or the super committee meetings. So far, there haven't been that many public hearings. They're being very tight-lipped. They're being very closed. Some people, I tend to think that there is some merit to this. Think that this actually might be a good sign that they're tuning everybody out and trying to focus on the job, and they're really sort of burrowing down, trying to figure out a way that they can get some sort of package forwarded. The two chairmen of the committee, Patty Murray, a Democratic senator from Washington, and Jeb Hensarling, who's a member of leadership in the House, and he's a Republican from Texas, are about as different as you can get in their outlook and so forth about politics. But they actually seem to have a very genuine relationship. They seem very earnest in trying to get something developed. And one thing that we haven't heard is very much sniping among super committee members about the super committee. They seem to be a very tight group. So that, I think, might bode well.
It'd be nice to have some kind of positive, especially now leading into an election year where typically you don't get as much done. As you said, a lot of thoughts are thrown out there, a lot of opinions are thrown out there. Getting something done is another matter. We'll wait and see when they get back in session next week. Hopefully they can pick up the steam and run with it there. Jason Dick, thanks for being with us this morning.
Thanks for having me.
With Roll Call. Al?